Hey, what you got there? Looks good. Is that a pot pie?
Yeah.
Doesn't look too good, really, does it?
Not really.
No. Why don't you make your own? Just lazy. Lazy. Yeah, that's what I thought. What if I were to tell you there's a better way of making that and it'll taste better? Would you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? Alright.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go! 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 Go!
Welcome back, everybody, to yet another episode of Courageous Kitchen. And today we're going to be making chicken pot pie. Now, to start with, we're going to go ahead and dice up our potatoes. Nothing too crazy or special, just get them all roughly the same size. Be careful not to slice yourself as well. And then, once we're done with that, we're going to throw them into this pot with some boiling hot water and about 1 to 2 tablespoons of salt. Now we're going to cook our potatoes until they're done yet firm, unlike how you would do them for mashed potatoes where it's cooked and soft. Next up, we're going to dice our onion. Now you guys have seen me do this plenty of times. So we're going to take the first layer off with the skin, not even worry about peeling it. And then we're going to give this a quick dice. Hold it back there at the root. Thanks thing one for the olive oil into the pan. Now we're going to set this off to the side into a bowl because we're going to come back to it. Next up, we're going to dice up some chicken. Now our chicken breasts here are still a little bit frozen, which is okay because it'll finish cooking into the pan. So we're going to go ahead and cut this into strips, just like we did when we did our King Ranch casserole video. So cut it into strips and then cut those strips into cubes. You can do this in bulk, you can do it strip by strip, whichever one works easiest for you. Just be careful not to, cut your fingers. So, slide that over there. Go ahead and butterfly this one real quick. You want all of the chicken pieces to be roughly-ish the same size as well. Here's a neat trick. If you throw a wet paper towel underneath your cutting board, it'll actually stop it from sliding around, so you don't have to keep chasing it across the island. Now we're going to finish dicing up our chicken here. And then we're going to throw this into our pan of smoking olive oil. And we're just going to let this cook. Nothing too crazy. Now you'll want to keep an eye on it, stir it around a little bit, because right off the bat, it's going to start sticking to the pan until everything gets a nice little crust on it. So, kind of move stuff around at first, and then just let it go. Now we're going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper for seasoning. And we're going to mix that in. And we're just going to let it cook. That's coming along very nicely. So, we're going to take this. And we're going to pull it off once it's done. And we're going to throw this into a bowl as well. Don't worry about deglazing your pan, because we'll take care of that in a minute. Now we're going to add a little bit more olive oil, and I'm running out here, so I'm going to reach underneath and grab our other bottle. And we're going to add a bit more. And we're going to saute our onions. Move those around. We don't want these to quite caramelize like we normally do. But we want to let them cook. That's a nice little bit of coloring. So right now we're going to add just a small handful of flour, and we're going to make a rudimentary roux. Make sure that all of our olive oil and onion mixture here gets covered by the flour. So just keep moving everything around until it gets all coated. If you need to add more oil, feel free to do that too. And just let it cook. Once it starts to look about like this, we're going to add our chicken broth. And we're going to stir this around. We're going to add a little bit of milk just to help it out, help it thicken up a little bit. Now, as this is cooking, you'll want to stir it and keep it moving. And once you've brought it up to a rolling simmer, we're going to go ahead and add in our green beans. And then we're going to add about 1/4 of a can of sliced carrots. We're going to mix these around. We're going to add in our potatoes. And then lastly, we're going to add in our chicken. And give this all a good mix. You're just going to let it cook. Now we're going to add a little bit of garlic powder, just because we like it. Stir that in. And we're going to give it a taste. Tastes pretty good. Now we're just going to let this cook. Next up, we're going to go ahead and grease the pan that we're going to be using. In this case, we're using a cake pan. So spray the inside with some non-stick spray. I'm running out here, so I'm going to just take my hand and I'm going to rub the inside all the way on the bottom up to the walls and the top of the rim with our cooking spray. This way our pastry dough doesn't stick when we go to take a slice. Now, as Eric told me, you want to pull your dough to the edge and then kind of push it into the bottom. So pull, push down. Give it, kind of press it up against the inside rim in the bottom. This way it's one flat surface for everything, just like that. Next, we're going to take a spoon and we're going to spoon in our pot pie filling. Make sure to spread it out evenly so there's no gaps. This may not look like it's going to fit. Trust me, it'll fit. Just keep filling up your pie dish. It's okay if there's a little bit more in the middle. Just try to fill in the edges a little bit. Move this off to the side. If I can figure out how to get the utensils out of the way. Next, we're going to take our top layer. We're going to lay it right on top. And when we do this, you want the top layer to meet your bottom pastry dough. Meaning, you'll lift up, make sure that your top layer meets the pastry dough on the bottom. And then you'll push them together, kind of forming one pastry. This way you get a good seal, and when it bakes, it doesn't fall in. And then we're going to take our remaining dough that's hanging over the top, and we're just going to press this around the top of our dish and kind of roll it in. This way we can trap a fair portion of the heat in without having spillage occur over the sides, and then you have a burning oven. Because I don't know about you, but I'd rather not have my oven smell like burning food. We're going to take a quick egg wash. We're going to brush the top. You don't want to go too thick, because as Eric informed me, you don't want scrambled eggs on top of your chicken pot pie. But this egg wash will definitely help in browning the top once it's done. And we're going to throw this into an oven for about 30 minutes at 450 degrees. After, we make 4 small slits. This will help vent off steam, and it's for presentation too. And there we go, guys. Thanks for watching.
Now, doesn't that look better than that?
Yeah.
How does it taste? Which one are you gonna pick? I guess that says that. Welcome next time on Krish's Kitchen.